You're listening to CJSF 90.1 FM online at www.cjsf.ca, and we're broadcasting from Burnaby, British Columbia at Simon Fraser University. This is KP Wee with This Week in BC Minor League Sports, and during this half-hour show today, we'll recap Week 19 of the BC Major Midget League, which is a league for 15 to 17-year-olds playing competitive hockey in the province of British Columbia. I also have some news regarding SFU athletics, including the basketball team and the hockey team. So this is a program for you sports fans out there interested in local sports. Now, we don't do any major league sports in this program because this is a community radio station, and also because there's plenty of minor league sports or junior sports locally for you to check out. For example, minor hockey and collegiate hockey, collegiate sports, especially if you're here in the Lower Mainland. And what I'm going to be focusing on here on this program, because it's hockey season, is the BC Major Midget League, with only 4 games remaining for 3 of the teams in the league before the playoffs begin. The other 8 teams have 6 games remaining. So it's crunch time with everybody battling for playoff positioning and home ice advantage. And the top 8 clubs out of the 11-team league make the playoffs, and there are a few intriguing matchups and races developing down the stretch. So I'm going to be recapping last weekend's BC Major Midget League action right here on CJSF 90.1 FM. Now, just some background information about the BC Major Midget League. It was established in 2004 to provide elite level 15, 16, and 17-year-old players an opportunity to play within their own age group at a high level. This league also helps develop these young hockey players as they prepare for junior hockey leagues and beyond. And with the BC Major Midget League, there are games being held every weekend, either right here in the Lower Mainland, in Burnaby, Langley, Richmond, or Coquitlam, or in out-of-town places such as Prince George, Nanaimo, Victoria, Castlegar, Chase, and Kelowna. Now, all of these games are free to attend, so it's a good it's good to check out this league, I should say, if you're interested in some good minor hockey action. And oftentimes you don't hear much about these leagues, if anything at all, so it's nice to be able to talk about the BC Major Midget League right here on our sports show here on CJSF Radio. And I mentioned this in previous shows, but NHL players such as Brandon Gallagher, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Evander Kane, they all played in this league during their teens. And in 2010, there were 16 former BC Major Midget League players who got drafted by NHL teams, including Gallagher. And there were 10 former players from the BC Major Midget League drafted in 2013 by NHL teams. So you could be watching future National Hockey League stars if you come out and take in some of these games in the BC Major Midget League. Now, just going to take a short break, and we're going to do some public service announcements, and then we'll be back for some scores and updates from the BC Major Midget League right here on CJSF 90.1 FM.
Philosopher's Cafe. It is back for 2014. Look for new discussions and interesting topics for this new year. Taking a different view of an old subject. Debate with new friends and old ones. Come out and learn something new. For all details of topics, locations, times and dates, go to the website philosopherscafe.net.
Many of us know what our anti-oppressive values are, but we sometimes struggle with how to respond when we witness oppressive interactions taking place. Join us for a workshop that will focus on building our skills for effective interventions. We will explore some of the psychological phenomena that impact witnesses. We will then spend the bulk of the workshop trying out strategies for intervening using roleplay and theater techniques. Bring your stories, questions, and strategies, and together we will build our skills. Countering inaction. Strategies for practicing anti-oppression. Everyone is welcome. Mount Pleasant Neighborhood House, 800 East Broadway in Vancouver on Saturday, February 22nd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information or to register, visit sfpirg.wfuu.eu/forms/registration-for-countering-inaction-workshop.
Robson Square Skating is now open. Enjoy this free ice rink from today till the end of February. It's open from Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Rental skates are available from $4, helmets are $2, and ice cleats are also $2. A concession stand is on site for warm drinks and such. Details about holiday hours or for any other information, please go to robsonsquare.com. Don't forget, this ice rink is free for all.
And back to This Week in BC Minor League Sports here on CJSF 90.1 FM. Now, a quick update regarding SFU hockey and athletics. Now, last Saturday evening, the SFU men's hockey team scored 5 times in the opening period against Thompson Rivers University and went on to record an 8-2 home win at the Bill Copeland Sports Center in Burnaby. The win was SFU's 17th in 20 games this season, as the Clan remained in first place in the BC Intercollegiate Hockey League. Kale Wild and Kalen Kalashnikov each scored 2 goals for SFU. Nick Sendor, who leads the league in scoring, added a goal and 2 assists for SFU. Now, the men's hockey team's next game is tonight, Saturday the 15th at 7 p.m. against the University of Victoria Vikes at the Bill Copeland Sports Center. And looking ahead into March, the SFU Clan have already secured home ice advantage for the first round of the BC Intercollegiate Hockey League playoffs, and tickets are now on sale for the first playoff game. Now, while the opponent has not yet been determined, Game 1 of the playoffs is happening on Friday, March the 7th at 7 p.m. at the Bill Copeland Sports Center. Tickets are available at burnabymountainhockey.com/tickets.html. Again, the tickets are available at burnabymountainhockey.com/tickets.html. Now, for scores and standings of the SFU hockey team, go to sfuhockey.com. Now, turning to basketball, the SFU women's team will be hosting their annual Pink Game, which is their annual cancer fundraiser game, and their final home game of the season when they face the St. Martin University Saints tonight at 7 p.m. in the SFU's West Gym. The proceeds from the Pink Game will be given to the BC Children's Hospital Foundation so that 100% of donations will improve the quality of life of kids with cancer. And throughout the evening, there will be entertainment, games, raffles, and a silent auction of SFU team members' warm-up t-shirts. Now, for more information, go to athletics.sfu.ca. Again, that's athletics.sfu.ca. Now, of course, if you're interested in SFU athletics, be sure to check out a show by Steve Chong here on CJSF 90.1 FM every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., where he hosts a jambalaya music program, and he also talks about the various SFU sports teams and how they're doing. So be sure to check that program out every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on CJSF 90.1 FM. Now, as far as the BC Major Midget League scoreboard is concerned, 10 of the 11 teams were in action last weekend, with only the Vancouver Northeast Chiefs idle. Now, with the game action, let's start off first at the Burnaby Winter Club in Burnaby, where the league's top 2 teams faced off on Saturday, February the 8th. That would be the first place Okanagan Rockets against the second place Vancouver Northwest Giants. Going in, the Giants were 2 points out of first place in the BC Major Midget League with a record of 26 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. The Rockets had a league best 27 wins with 1 tie and only 4 losses. Now, the first game turned out to be a thriller. The Rockets opened the scoring in the first period on Captain Brandon Wagner's 13th goal of the season. In the second period, Corey Santoro scored his 17th of the year, and Okanagan led 2-0 after 40 minutes. The Giants finally got on the scoreboard in the third period on defenseman Dante Fabro's 16th goal of the season, cutting the deficit to 2-1. The Rockets, however, seemed to put the game away when Tyson Joss scored on the power play to make it 3-1 with only 5:55 remaining. But the Giants didn't give up, as Colton Kerfoot, the leading scorer in the league, answered back just 30 seconds later, and it was 3-2. Now, the Rockets got a late power play and again looked to bury the Giants when Tyson Joss again scored, his second goal of the period with only 2:29 remaining, and suddenly it was 4-2 for Okanagan. Now for Joss, his 2 goals gave him 27 in 29 games on the season. But the Giants still weren't done. Colton Kerfoot says, anything you can do, I can do better. Because 23 seconds after the Rockets went up 4-2, Kerfoot scored his second of the game, again cutting the deficit to 1 goal at 4-3. The Giants then completed the comeback with only 1:12 remaining when Captain Quinn Thompson got the tying goal to make it 4-4, and that was the final score in that contest. Giants 4, Rockets 4. Now, it was not only a battle between the top 2 teams in the league, but also a good one between the top 2 scorers as well. Now, as mentioned, Tyson Joss, the league's second leading scorer, had 2 goals for the Rockets, giving him 27 in 29 games. Colton Kerfoot, the league's leading scorer, also had 2 goals, giving him 29 in 33 games on the season. Now on Sunday, the same 2 teams took the ice at the Burnaby Winter Club, and this time it was the Giants who got out to a 2-0 lead before the Rockets scored 3 straight goals and had a 3-2 advantage early in the third period. Tyson Joss was at it again, getting his 28th goal of the season to tie the game, and Liam Finley gave the Rockets the lead just a minute into the final period. So it was 3-2 for Okanagan in the third. But the Giants again rallied, and this time with Dante Fabro getting his second goal of the contest with only 7:10 remaining. Less than 2 minutes later, Keegan Jones scored the game winner for the Giants, and Vancouver Northwest went on to shock Okanagan by a score of 4-3. So the Rockets had third period leads in both games, but couldn't close out either one with a victory. This meant that both the Rockets and the Giants now have the same record of 27 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties, having the best record in the BC Major Midget League. Both teams tied with the same number of points. Now, I caught up with Giants head coach Clint Thornton after the game on Sunday. We're with Clint Thornton, the head coach of the Vancouver Northwest Giants. Congratulations on the win today, and also 3 points out of a possible 4 against the Okanagan Rockets. Thoughts on you guys' play this weekend?
I thought it was a big character builder for us. I mean, to come back from the way we did in both games. I mean, we got down on in both games and managed to dig down deep and get a couple goals.
And speaking of goals, Dante Fabro had 3 goals for you guys this weekend. Thoughts about his play?
Overall, the whole season he's been outstanding. I mean, he's a 15-year-old in this league, and that's always tough. And he's a very special, gifted player, and we leaned on him a lot this weekend to come out big.
Now, how big was this weekend's result in terms of building your confidence and should you guys play Okanagan again in the playoffs?
I think that's the biggest thing. Is it's a confidence builder. It showed that we can compete with this team, and the Okanagan Rockets are a very skilled, very fast hockey team, and we managed to start scoring some goals against them. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's a big mental boost for us.
Once again, thanks so much, Clint, and congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the third-place Valley West Hawks won a pair of games over the visiting Thompson Blazers last weekend in Langley. Now, in the first game on Saturday, Mitch Newsom scored 5 times for the Hawks as Valley West went on to rout the Blazers by a score of 9-3. Newsom had 2 of his goals in the first period as the Hawks built a 5-0 lead and then added a goal in the second and 2 more in the final 20 minutes. Newsom's 5 goals gave him 21 in 35 games this season. Then on Sunday, the Hawks again won in a rout, beating Thompson 8-0. Cole Forbes got the shutout for the Hawks, and Newsom added another goal in that contest. And meanwhile, it was Matt Bradley, Eric Calgary, and Trevor Iyer each having 2 goals for Valley West in the Sunday contest. Now, the weekend sweep gave the Hawks 48 points in 36 games, all but assuring them the 3rd seed. They have a 10-point lead over both the Greater Vancouver Canadians and the Vancouver Northeast Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs have 6 games remaining and are mathematically alive for the 3rd spot, but it looks like the Hawks have all but clinched it based on their recent play. And to make things more interesting, the Chiefs and the Hawks will play 2 games against each other this weekend. Now let's take another short break for some more public service announcements, and then we'll be back for more scores and updates from the BC Major Midget League right here on CJSF 90.1 FM.
cold outside? Still craving fresh food? Crave no more. The popular farmers market is open all winter long. Check out over 60 vendors. Taste hot food and hotter drinks. Open every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Rain, shine, or snow. In the parking lot of Nat Bailey Stadium at Ontario Street and 30th Avenue. Admission is free.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
February is Black History Month. Listen in to CJSF 90.1 FM all month for special programming honoring the civil rights movement and celebrating the lives, stories, and actions of those who fought and continue to fight against racism and for equality. For programming details, head to cjsf.ca. Don't miss the career opportunity of a lifetime. Apply today to the National Aboriginal Recruitment Fair at Inclusion Works 14, taking place in Vancouver, April 29th to May 1st, 2014. Selected grads are guaranteed an interview and will receive a free trip to Vancouver, including airfare and hotel. Apply today at aboriginalhr.ca/IW14grad.
Now, on Saturday, March the 8th, 2014, young women in business Simon Fraser University, also known as YWIB SFU, will be hosting a conference for the SFU community and the high school and post-secondary students of Greater Vancouver at Century Plaza Hotel in celebration of International Women's Day, featuring inspirational guest speakers, a well-rounded panel, and an engaging expo. The conference is dedicated to encourage professional and personal growth. With the theme this year as defining success, their goal is to engage the community in the discussion of the various definitions of success, empowering each other to pursue their true passions. Now, I should mention that this is for both females and males, as YWIB is welcoming males to attend this event as well. Here are some more details. Again, the date would be Saturday, March the 8th. The location is Century Plaza Hotel at 1015 Burrard Street in downtown Vancouver. Again, that's 1015 Burrard Street in Vancouver. This is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And for ticket pricing, now for high school students, the price is $25, and that's if you get your ticket between now and March the 2nd. The ticket price for SFU students who are non-YWIB members is $35, provided you get your ticket by March 2nd. And the price for general admission is $40 if you get your ticket by March 2nd, and that would be for students from other post-secondary institutions as well as for young professionals. For more information, you can go to www.ywib.ca/SFU. Again, that's www.ywib.ca/SFU. And let me spell that out for you. It's www.wib.ca/SFU. Now, on their website, you can also get the latest updates regarding guest speakers, exhibitors, and other exciting new perks that they'll be prepared to present. And also, you can check them out on Facebook as well. Now, back to this week in BC Minor League sports. More scores from last weekend in the BC Major Midget League. The Fraser Valley Thunderbirds swept a pair of games over the Kootenay Ice, winning 5-1 on Saturday in Langley and 6-3 on Sunday in Abbotsford. The two-game sweep allowed the Thunderbirds to move into 7th place in the league standings. The Greater Vancouver Canadians and the North Island Silvertips, meanwhile, split a pair of games at the Richmond Oval, with the Canadians winning 2-1 on Saturday night and the Silvertips coming back to win 5-2 on Sunday morning. Now, in the Sunday game, Carter Turnbull scored the game winner with only 45 seconds remaining, snapping a 2-all tie, and the Silvertips added 2 more goals in the dying seconds of that contest. And finally, at the CN Center in Prince George, the Caribou Cougars and the South Island Royals split their 2 games. On Saturday, it was the Cougars shutting out the Royals 3-0. On Sunday, the South Island Royals scored 3 goals in a span of 26 seconds in the second period and defeated Caribou by a score of 5-4. Now, for this week's schedule, as mentioned earlier, the Valley West Hawks will play the Vancouver Northeast Chiefs twice. Now, Valley West is in 3rd place in the league, and Vancouver Northeast is tied for 4th. But again, the Chiefs are 10 points back of the Hawks. Saturday's game will be at the Planet Ice Rink in Coquitlam at 4:15 p.m. and Sunday's contest will be a 12 noon affair at the Langley Sportsplex. Now, this matchup between the Hawks and the Chiefs will be the only ones happening on the Lower Mainland because the other contests will take place in Kelowna, Nelson, Chase, Port Alberni, Kamloops, and Courtney. Now, for a complete listing of the games this weekend, check out the league's website at www.bcmml.net. That's www.bcmml.net. I will go over the standings with you, though. Again, in first place in the league, we have the Okanagan Rockets with a record of 27 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties in 34 games. That is good for 56 points. Now, the Vancouver Northwest Giants, by getting a victory and a tie against the Rockets last weekend, are also 27, 5, and 2 in 34 games, also with 56 points. Now, the Rockets, though, did beat the Giants twice in November back in Kelowna. So technically, the Rockets do have the tiebreaker over the Giants, even though both teams are tied right now with 56 points. Of course, there are still 6 games remaining for both of these 2 teams, so anything can still happen, down the stretch. But right now, they're tied with 56 points, with the Rockets only holding the tiebreaker, I should say. Again, in third place, Valley West has a record of 23 wins, 11 losses, and 2 ties for 48 points in 36 games. And it looks like no one's going to be able to catch them. Well, the only team that's mathematically able to catch them would be the fourth place Vancouver Northeast Chiefs, who are taking on the Hawks this weekend, as mentioned. The Chiefs have a record of 17 wins, 13 losses, and 4 ties, good for 38 points in 34 games. The Greater Vancouver Canadians are also tied for fourth place. They have a record of 18 wins, 16 losses, and 2 ties in 36 games. Then in sixth place, the Caribou Cougars are 15, 17, and 2 with 32 points in 34 games. As mentioned, the Fraser Valley Thunderbirds have moved into 7th place. They have a record of 12 wins, 18 losses, and 4 ties for 28 points in 34 games. In 8th place, the North Island Silvertips have a record of 11 wins, 18 losses, and 5 ties for 27 points in 34 games. And in 9th, the South Island Royals have a record of 11 wins, 21 defeats, and 4 ties in 36 games, and they have 26 points. The 10th place, the battle for 10th place is between the bottom 2 teams in the league. That will be the Thompson Blazers and the Kootenay Ice. The Blazers have a record of 5, 23, and 6, and that's good for 16 points. And the last place, Kootenay Ice, are 5, 24, and 5 for 15 points. So those 2 teams are battling to avoid last place in the league in the final weeks of the regular season. Now, as far as the scoring race is concerned, I touched on it a little bit earlier with the race between Colton Kerfoot and Tyson Jost, who are with the Giants and the Rockets respectively. Both of these players had big weekends for their clubs. And if you take a look at the scoring race, Kerfoot is putting some distance between himself and the rest of the league now, because Kerfoot has 69 points in 34 games right now as it stands, and that would be good for 69 points in 34 games. Tyson Joss has played 4 fewer games than Kerfoot, and he has 62 points in 30 games with 28 goals and 34 assists. So again, 62 points in 30 games for Tyson Joss, and he is 7 points behind the leading scorer, Colton Kerfoot. Meanwhile, tied for 3rd place in the scoring race are Matt Bradley of the Valley West Hawks with 61 points in 33 games, as well as Jason Zito of the Vancouver Northwest Giants. He also has 61 points in 34 games. Both Bradley and Zito are tied for 3rd place in a scoring race with 61 points. And Okanagan's Tanner Campbell is 5th in a scoring race with 56 points in 34 games. Campbell has 27 goals and 29 assists this season for the Rockets. Now, for more of the scoring race and scoring update, again, you can check out the BC Major Midget League website at www.bcmml.net. That's going to do it for this week's program, and we'll be back 1 week from now for the next show. In the meantime, get out to Coquitlam and Langley to enjoy some free, entertaining, competitive BC Major Midget hockey. And again, if you'd like to check out SFU hockey, there's a game tonight at 7 p.m. at the Bill Copeland Sports Center. There's also the SFU women's basketball team's annual pink game tonight at 7 p.m. at the West Gym. So quite a few sporting events locally to check out this weekend. And, enjoy the games. We'll talk to you again next time.
Fishy swimming, all together, all together, in the ocean, they're together, all together, in the ocean, they're killed by a fish net.
It doesn't have to end like this. If you're working hard to help the environment, you could become Earth Day Canada's next hometown hero. Apply at earthday.ca.
An oak tree starts to grow with shades of green and brown. And grows and grows and grows and grows with shades of green and brown. And grows and grows and starts to grow with shades of green and brown. And grows and grows and grows and grows. A chainsaw cuts it down. Grows and grows and grows and grows. A chainsaw cuts it down.
It doesn't have to end like this. If you're working hard to help the environment, you could become Earth Day Canada's next hometown hero. Apply at earthday.ca.